Okay, so we've got through that material. Now we get into the fun stuff, which is loading up the DreamRigs TonePack. And so when you order from me, you immediately get a download link. If you didn't get one right after you ordered, check your spam folder, check your junk mail. They're usually in there. It comes from heybuddy@austinbuddy.com, and it's usually pretty immediate. It's not like an hour or two wait. So there's a link in that email. You click on that and you will download a zip file. Unzip that file, and what you see here are the different files that are contained inside that zip file. So I'm going to walk through those real quick just so you know what you're looking at and how to deal with them. The first one that says install first, you can sort them by name here, is the DreamRigs user cab IR folder. And this is really important. The first thing we're going to do, and I'll show you in a little bit in a different video, we have to install about 13 or 14 cabs, and this is a list of them that I'm providing to you from, mostly are from different cab packs that I have produced. This is the a third party from courtesy of Redwires from their big box collection. It's a mix that I did. It's also in the Naked Amps TonePack, 700 plus TonePack, and it's used for the Jimi Hendrix presets. It gets that first album sound, just nails it. Really cool. So we're going to talk about how to install those in a little bit. We'll get to that. We'll use AX8 Edit Cab Manager to do that. It's really easy, but that's the folder you're going to need to access, and we'll pull those in and we'll put those in your user RRs. Why is this important? If you don't install those and you have nothing in the user RR, you'll get zero sound in the cab. It won't sound at all. If you have your own user cabs in those slots 20 through 33, then the preset's going to sound wrong because it's not the way I designed it. It's going to sound with whatever you had. So you need to just move whatever you had in 20 to 33 if you did have something there, and just reassign those. There's no way around it. I had to arbitrarily pick a place to do it. I decided not to do it at the first user cab slot. I picked 20. So that's that. Next, the second, it says install second here, is an effects library. So that's kind of cool. I have given you a whole lot of blocks that I did. Now, most of them I will tell you are, there are two different nomenclatures for them. Let me show you. If they are a factory version, then they're labeled ABF for Austin Buddy, but factory. This is basically the default fractal setting. So I've gotten you the default fractal settings for example, for all these delays. And then if I've created it for this pack, it starts with DR for DreamRig. So I've got a DreamRig Eddie Van Halen 200 millisecond tape. And again, I've dialed these in for live use, so they're not super wet. You can always change that if you like it wetter. I just like a hint sometimes of this stuff, a little space around it. But you do get, as a nice little bonus, some block stuff. Later, I'll probably do a bigger blocks library for the AX8, a more comprehensive one. I didn't have time this time to do it, but I did want to include some of the effects that I did put into the this tone pack that'll be useful to you, I think. And you can also, of course, add your own effects blocks, and we'll talk about that later. All right, the third thing is a README file, user manual, documents, tips. In here, I have a couple of different things. Probably the first thing you want to look at is the README user manual itself. It looks like this, and it kind of goes over a lot of what this video talks about. How to set it up, different things to do. So know that this is here, talks about the layout, and a lot of things I'm going to try and cover in these videos, but it's a good reference back for you. So that's something that you want to check out. The other thing that I've done is I have, using the excellent Fractal, which you should support, it's free, but the Fractal software, I have gone ahead and created a preset list for all the different banks, tells you what they are, tells you what cabs are being used in it. And then I've got notes for me that I've put in here that could be helpful to you. It explains some different amps, maybe some nuances or some things about it, but also leave room for you. But this is a cool thing to print out maybe and have handy as you go through and audition amps, and you can highlight or circle or mark your favorite sounds as you assemble your own dream rig out of all these different 1,000 tones that are available. That's the purpose of this, to try and kind of help you organize that. I think I'm going to get the bonus tone packs from the Naked Amps also included in this one. I haven't gotten it done yet as I make this video, so don't kill me if I don't include it all, because I'm trying to get this out because you guys really want it before Christmas. But this is just the same thing that was in the Naked Amps stuff. I just wanted to throw it in there as a sort of a bonus. There is also documentation based on what we did in the earlier video of how to set up your AX8. So I try and write all those steps down that I talked about earlier. So that's going to be helpful to you, I think, to have that there as a reference. Remember, treat it like, tell your sound guy to treat it like it's a keyboard. It's not a, you don't put a mic preamp on it. You don't add gain. It's not a, mic'd amplifier. Treat it like a keyboard. And then I want a special shout out to my buddy Yek, who is a Fractal Forum wizard. If you don't know who Yek is, he's amazing. And this wouldn't have been possible without him. He has created a couple of cool things here. He's created an entire guide to every amp model, and I've included it with his permission for you. So it's a big file. It's about 13 meg, which just makes the whole thing a little bit big download. But this is really cool, and if you like a particular amp but want to learn more about it, come in here and you'll find all the stuff you need to know about it. It was very helpful to me in dialing in a lot of these amps, most of which I've played, but some of which I haven't, and this really helped me understand them better. Yek also did a really cool guide to drive blocks. That's also included. Thank you, Yek. For you. And I've also done a one-page cheat sheet that's also in the Naked Amps TonePack that tells you what the real drive block pedal name is and then what Fractal's name is. So it's kind of a good guide. It's a sort of a one-pager, I think, or a front and back pager, actually. And gives you some little tips on maybe how to use that boost. Drive blocks are a real personal thing. I don't put a lot of drive block choices in the library, for example. I think you need to figure out what works best for you and your guitars and your style of playing, but they definitely can add something to it. I try and make the amp sound great without drive blocks, but sometimes drive blocks really are cool to get you that next level. So that's what's in the README folder. Now we get to the good stuff. These are the preset folders, and I've called them Austin Buddy Curation, and you can see there's a Mang Bank 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are 128 presets, some of which are empty, by the way, on purpose. You'll see that later, a handful. But most, it's like, I think 112 out of 128 are amp presets. And so I've got you a couple of choices on where to start, because I know this can be overwhelming to have all this. So the first one, and we'll show this in AX8 Edit in a little bit, what's in each one of them, is what I considered a place to good start for gig choices, the kind of amps I would go to if I was doing a gig. For, if you're doing cover band stuff or things like that, want basic Fender and Marshall sounds and Class A amp sounds, that's a good place to start and just kind of get a feel for how the TonePack works. Then I also have a bank that's just Fenders and the boutique amplifiers, sort of the Dumble style amps, Carol Ann, some pretty cool stuff. And then I have this great modern and progressive amp bank, and if you love that music, start with that bank. I had a great local expert metal player come over, brought his PRSs with the hotter pickups, and we dialed them in together, and they're better, I think, than the ones in the Naked Amps TonePack. There's some really great sounds in here. There's just check it out. It's really cool. I'm pretty proud of those. And then if you're a Strat player, or a Tele player exclusively, you just do single coils, you can go ahead and start on Mang Bank 4, which is just for single coil players. That is not to say there aren't presets that work with single coils through the other banks that I just mentioned. There are, and I'm going to talk about that, and I'll show you how that works. I tried for most amps to give you an option to be able to use single coils with them. It doesn't always work for every amp, but I'm going to walk you through how I did that. Then if I get to the bonus presets, this may or may not be in the final because I really want to get this out to you guys. I'd like to maybe put a couple of my sample DreamRigs in there and then the bonus presets, and that's what that one's about. Now, don't neglect these next two. It says Austin Buddy's Extras, but these are other amps that I just didn't want to overwhelm you with, but there's still some pretty good amp sounds in there as you explore. Start on the main 4, but these are 2 full amp banks. So you have 6 times 112 presets of amps right there. And then there are double tones in a lot of those presets, as we'll get into. So we have over 1,100 tones specifically in this pack. So those are all in there. And again, all these things even though it says like 33 for 48, you can load these wherever you want. You can load these through 1 through 16 or wherever. This is just where they happen to be when I saved them. So you have that option. And then last, I have included a blank bank for you in case you want to just wipe everything out and then, you know, pull stuff from one place into it. So an easier way to do that in Axe Manage, where you just right click on the presets and then you click clear presets and it'll clear them and you have to save them and it'll overwrite them. So, but I like to give you that extra. So that's what comes in your download file when you order. Gives you a sense of what we're about to get into. And we're about to open up AX8 Edit and have a front of the actual AX8 unit and kind of go through a couple of presets, and I'll show you how these things work. So I want to add that on my website, after you buy, you have set up an account. So go up here to click my account and you log in with it. And that's where you're going to be able to see your orders and any future downloads or upgrades to the product. If there is a firmware upgrade to 10.1, if it goes to 11 point something from, this is where you would come to download a new version of it. I probably won't have any here. So I wanted you to see that and be aware of it. It usually takes several months to do an upgrade. Afterwards, I wait till everything's done, no beta versions, that it's the final public, and then I have to go through and, of course, update 1100 sounds, so it takes a while. But this is where you get that, and I think when you checked out, it forces you to create an account now, which is important. So that's how you'll be able to log in and get your downloads that were included in your price for this for the DreamRigs. I want to just make sure that you guys were aware of that.